Content pillars. If you're on social media, you probably heard that term a time or two. A lot of should we use them? Shouldn't we use them? What should mine be? Well, today's video is my first video request for examples of content pillars for different industries. So if you've been feeling stuck about whether you should use them or what they should be, stick around. My name's Tori. I'm your go-to social media coach, and I help small businesses ditch social media overwhelm, giving you the confidence and skills you need to make social media a powerful and positive tool for your business. If you've been watching my videos, you've probably seen me talk about content pillars already. In fact, I have an entire video on content pillars alone, on the why they're important, how you should use them. If you want to know more about content pillars, hop on over to that video because I'm not going to dive that deep into the why today. I want to focus more on the specific examples and practical tips to get you started. I'm going to go through 15 different industries with 5 content pillar examples for each. You don't have to use all 5. I generally recommend 3 to 5. So feel free to use the 5. Feel free to use 3. Feel free to switch in a few others. If you really want to add on 1 or 2, go for it. Whatever works for you and your business. But I want to get you the tools to get you started. A quick refresher in case you don't feel like going and watching a whole video on content pillars. Content pillars are very important to any marketing strategy. In traditional marketing, we call them key messages. On social media, the term content pillars has been coined. Content pillars or key messages are the foundation to any marketing strategy. It is the messaging you're trying to get out to your target market to help them understand you, your business, to buy your products and your services. By defining these content pillars or key messages, you are streamlining your marketing to make sure that you're hitting all of these important things that your audience wants or needs to know. And you're also streamlining your creation process. You're not having to start over from scratch every time you need to create content. Instead, you're finding ideas and posting ideas fit or support each of these content pillars. That's the gist. If you want more information, hop on over to my content pillars video. If you're ready to roll, you know they're important, you're ready to get to the good stuff, let's get started. Our first industry is retail. I'm going to use the example of a clothing or electronics store for the purposes of this, but we're going to start with number 1, educational content. This is where you're going to share styling tips for your products or product care guides, anything that people might need to know about what you sell in your retail store. Number 2 is user-generated content. We're going to highlight customer reviews and photos. We want to put the spotlight on those, not on ourselves, but on what other people are creating that have to do with what we are selling. Number 3 is promotional content. This is where we can announce new products, new arrivals, announce any sales or seasonal things going on. The mistake that a lot of businesses make here is that promotional content pillar can sometimes overtake the other content pillars, and it becomes a lot of me in your posting. And we don't want to do that. So promotional content should really only be like 20%. Again, if we've got 5 content pillars, 1 of those is promotional content. We're only posting about buying our products or services 20% of the time. Number 4 is entertaining content. This could be fashion show highlights or influencer takeovers. Anything that your audience would find entertaining and fun to follow along with. Number 5, behind the scenes. This is where we showcase store operations or product creation processes or the people behind the product. This behind-the-scenes content pillar will pop up again for a few other industries, and it's for a good reason. The behind-the-scenes is really the authenticity piece. When you hear about authenticity in social media, we want to see the people behind the business. We want to see the background, the exclusive content. That's what really helps build relationships. The next industry we're going to talk about is health and wellness. So the first content pillar, similar to the last one, educational content. We're going to provide wellness tips, workout routine, anything that helps your users learn about the services you provide or how you can help them. Number 2 is inspirational content. This can include success stories or motivational quotes. Number 3 is product or service spotlights. This is, again, that promotional content where you're talking about yourself, detailing what you sell and how it can help them. This could be a detailed video about supplements you provide or what they might expect if they come in for a specific service. Number 4 is user-generated content. We want to feature testimonials or before and after photos, especially in the health and wellness industry. Before and after photos can be a really fantastic tool to get more engagement. And number 5, interactive content. Try hosting live Q&A sessions or post polls on health topics. If you've watched some of my videos, you know that engagement is key to growth on social media. So finding ways to use interactive polls, stories, anything you can do to get people interacting with you will help boost you in the algorithm to get more views, get more reach, get more followers, and get more customers. The third industry we're going to cover today is food and beverage. Number 1, recipes and cooking tips. Offer step-by-step guides or professional chef tips that really help your audience feel like they are going to be expert chefs. Number 2, user-generated content. We've talked about this in every industry so far because it is important to show your followers or potential followers that you care about what they're posting or what they are sharing. And in this case, we can showcase customer recipes and meal photos that they've posted. You can either share these to your stories, or you can ask the account if they would mind if you reposted their photo or video and repost it to your feed. Number 3 is product highlights. Announce new product launches or services that you're providing and their benefits. Why would people care? Again, this is that promotional content, 20% or less. Number 4 is behind the scenes. Provide kitchen tours and food prep insights. Show what goes into making the meals that you're sharing on your feed. Number 5, seasonal content. Highlight holiday recipes and seasonal produce, things that people can only do at certain times of year to really keep your feed fresh and interesting. The 4th industry we're going to cover is travel and tourism. I love travel and tourism. I've worked with a few travel and tourism clients. I think they're so much fun. If you know me, you know I love to travel. So you're lucky if you work in this industry. Content pillar number 1, destination guides. Share the top places to visit and travel tips. Number 2, user-generated content. You can feature travel stories and vacation photos. You can ask people what their favorite thing to do in your area or your location was and share those. Number 3, that promotional content piece, announcing travel deals and packages. Number 5, inspirational content. Post travel quotes, dream destinations, maybe even like a travel mood board. You can really have fun with this to make inspirational content for your feed. Number 5, behind the scenes. This is that authenticity piece again. Offer hotel tours or room tours. Show staff experiences, staff highlights. Anything behind the scenes that helps people feel like they really know what's going on and they'll be more excited to come and stay or visit. The 5th industry is finance and insurance. And when I've worked with finance and insurance clients, I know you guys have a lot of red tape you have to work around. You have to be really careful about what you say. Sometimes you even have a dedicated legal team to checking over what you can post. If you have any questions about these content pillars or want a little more guidance, please do feel free to comment or shoot me a message. Content pillar number 1 is educational content. Share financial tips or investment guides, things that are helping your followers or potential followers understand your industry better and provide them value. Number 2 is user-generated content. Highlight customer success stories or testimonials here. Number 3, product spotlights. You can detail out any insurance plans or financial services you provide, showing the difference between different types of services. Again, this is the 20% promo content, so keep this a little light. I know you probably have a lot of information to fit into this content pillar, but we don't want this to override the other content pillars. Number 4, expert interviews. These can be a really fun way to provide insights from financial advisors. You can do one long interview and just cut it into bite-sized 30 to 60-second reels and post it over a long time. It can be a great way to get a lot of content from 1 hour-long sit-down. Number 5, interactive content. You can conduct polls on financial habits or live Q&A sessions, anything that would make people want to interact a little bit more. The 6th industry we're going to cover is technology. Content pillar number 1 is educational content, providing the how-tos and the tech tips. Technology is not my strong suit, so I don't have a whole lot of examples here, but I know that if you work in technology, you have a lot of know-how that people don't. You are worth your weight in gold, so share some of that educational content with us and let us non-techies know a little bit more. Number 2, product reviews. Offer detailed reviews of gadgets and software, if they are your gadgets and software or other gadgets and software that are related to what you offer. That can be a great way to get people interested in the products that you do sell. Number 3, user-generated content. Unboxing videos can be really fun to share. Anything that users have shared about your tech or similar tech that you think is interesting, you can share under this content pillar. Number 4, industry news. Share the latest tech trends and product launches. What do you think is coming next? You're the one with the finger on the pulse. Let us know what's going on in the industry. Number 5, interactive content. Now that you've shared all this educational content, hopefully your followers have a better idea about technology, so you can create quizzes or offer polls on people's favorite gadgets, like what can't you live without? The 7th industry we're going to talk about today is real estate. I have worked with real estate agents on their social media profiles, and again, I know some of the specific things and the specific challenges that you have to deal with, and I think these content pillars will help you. Educational content. Share some home buying tips. What do people not know? Or maybe even things they should know before hiring a realtor. Like, what are the questions you should be asking your realtor? What are some red flags for a new realtor? And any market insights that you think buyers might want to know. That whole, is now a good time to buy? Is now a good time to rent? Is now a good time to sell? All of that is really helpful information for followers or potential followers. Number 2, property spotlights. Feature listings and virtual tours. Try and find creative ways to do this and hop on some trends to make it a little bit more fun. Number 3, user-generated content. This is where you can highlight home improvement stories or reviews that people have given you. I love to see before and after of home spaces, so I know that this can be a great way to include that. If someone moves into a new home that you've sold them and they really update the kitchen, show that before and after. Number 4, expert advice. Provide interviews with real estate agents or brokers. This can be a fun way to really network too and get a little bit more reach from their networks because they're going to want to share if they're interviewed with you on your social media accounts. You can interview them about specific topics in real estate and what's going on in the industry. Number 5, local highlights. Real estate agents tend to be a little bit more localized. You're trying to get people to move to a specific area generally. So this can be a great way to showcase that community. Show people why they should want to live there. Any community features, local business spotlight. And again, if you're sharing other local businesses, they're going to want to share your post to show people that you liked them. So you're going to get a little bit more reach from them sharing you as well. Industry number 8 is education and training. And the first content pillar is educational content. We want to offer learning tips or course highlights, anything that will help people better understand your products or services. Number 2, student success stories. This kind of falls under that user-generated content, right? Sharing testimonials or career successes, any case studies, anything where people have done well, we can share that. Number 3, the authenticity piece, behind the scenes, providing classroom tours and faculty introductions. Anything that shows people behind the scenes of your business. Number 4, interactive content. We can conduct polls on learning preferences or offer live Q&As. Ask people this or that questions when it comes to education. Number 5 is industry news. Share any trends in education and new course offerings here. The 9th industry is beauty and cosmetics. Content pillar number 1 is tutorials. You can provide makeup tutorials or skincare routines, letting people understand what steps they need to take for good skincare or good beauty. Number 2, product spotlights. Announce new product launches or best sellers. Again, this is that promo content, 20% or less. So make sure we're not doing all this, but we want to pepper this in when we can. Number 3, user-generated content featuring customer makeovers or product reviews. Again, those before and after photos or videos in this industry will do really well. Number 4, inspirational content. Share beauty quotes, success stories, anything that would make people feel inspired to use your product or service. And number 5, behind the scenes, this authenticity piece, showcasing how you create the product, the process behind it. Maybe show them behind the scenes at any brand events you're doing, or what the makeup artist thought about a makeover they did recently. Industry number 10 is automotive. The first content pillar is product reviews. Offer detailed car reviews and feature highlights. Number 2, user-generated content. Highlight customer car photos and testimonials. Number 3, educational content. You can provide car maintenance tips or driving safety advice. Anything that teaches here about anything related to your product or service. Number 4, industry news. You can share the latest automotive trends or new models, maybe new things available for safety in the automotive industry. And number 5, interactive content. This is where you can conduct polls on your favorite cars or favorite car parts, or offer live Q&As with experts in your industry. We're getting there. We're on number 11. If you're still watching, will you hit the like button? I want to know how many people actually made it this far and are watching the entire video here. But number 11 is nonprofits. I've worked with a few nonprofits. I know some of your challenges as well. The first content pillar we're going to talk about is mission highlights. We want to share success stories or impact reports, things that align with your mission where you've had success. Number 2, volunteer spotlights. You can feature stories from volunteers, highlight specific volunteers, talk about why people wanted to volunteer, what they got out of it, why they enjoyed it, so you can encourage future volunteering. Number 3, event coverage. Provide insights on fundraisers or community events. It doesn't always have to be events that you are hosting. It can be events that are related to your industry or just close to you in the community that you want to get the word out about. All of that counts here. Number 4, educational content. You can share information about the causes that you care about and how to get involved, how people can really make an impact in either their community or when it comes to this cause. Number 5 is interactive content. Post polls on charitable interests. Host live Q&As. You can also post myth-busting facts that people may not understand about your charitable cause. Industry number 12 is fashion, and to kick it off, we have the first content pillar, trend reports. You're going to share the latest fashion trends and seasonal styles that people know that they want to follow you for all of the trends and new things coming. Number 2, user-generated content, highlighting customer outfits and style challenges. Number 3, behind the scenes, that authenticity piece, providing insights into fashion shoots, designer interviews, what went into the making of this particular look or style, any of that. Number 4, promotional content, again, 20% or less of our overall content, announcing new collections or sales or seasonal things going on. Number 5, interactive content. You can conduct style quizzes or polls on fashion preferences. So for example, you could post a picture of a skirt and say, would you style it with A, B, C, or D? And get people to engage with you that way. Lucky industry number 13 is home improvement, and content pillar 1 is DIY guides. Offer step-by-step home improvement projects. Here's what you can do on your own time at home if you just head over to the hardware store. Number 2, product spotlights. This is where you can highlight tools or materials that you think people might want to use. Number 3, user-generated content. Showcase customer projects and before and after photos. Again, those before and after photos are really powerful on social media. Number 4, expert advice. Provide interviews with home improvement experts to help your followers understand specific home improvement projects. And number 5, behind the scenes, that authenticity piece. Share project planning or work in progress updates. Anything that shows people the behind the scenes of how it really went. Not everything's perfect, sunshine and rainbows. Share the challenges here and how you're getting through them. Industry number 14 is entertainment, and the first content pillar is event coverage. Offer behind the scenes insights at events and interviews. Really cover what's going on at these events to make people feel like they're there, and it'll make it a little more engaging for them. Number 2, user-generated content. Feature fan art or anything that people on social media have created that has to do with your product or service you want to share. Number 3, promotional content. Announce new releases or upcoming events. Again, this is 20% or less of your content. This should not be posted all the time every week. Number 4, interactive content. Conduct polls on favorite shows or anything that gets people clicking in a poll or a story sticker to get them a little more engaged. Number 5, industry news. Share the latest trends or celebrity news. This can be a really fun one to get a little more reach because you can use some fun hashtags and keywords. And the last industry we're going to cover today, and one I probably don't know a whole lot about unless you're talking about my San Francisco Giants, is sports. The first content pillar is game highlights. Provide recaps or key moments from the games. What went on? What do people need to know if they missed it? Number 2, player spotlights, interviews, or player profiles, anything fun that highlights the players. Number 3, user-generated content. Highlight fan photos or game day experiences. Anything that people post about being at that game, we want to post it and share it. Number 4, interactive content. Here you can conduct polls on game predictions or what their favorite play of the game was. Anything that really gets them voting on feed posts or stories. And number 5, behind the scenes. Again, that authenticity piece. Offer insight into training sessions or team events. What's going on down in the dugout at the San Francisco Giants? We like to see that behind the scenes content, and this is where you can share that under this content pillar. We made it. We got all the way through 15 different industries times 5 different content pillars. So what's next? You pick your content pillars. You can use the 5 I provided. Again, you can take a few off, add a few on, swap a few out, whatever works for you and your business. Once you've picked your content pillars, the next step is to look at your calendar and see how you're going to make them fit. A great beginner tip here is to assign different days of the week a different content pillar. So maybe on Mondays you decide you're going to post educational content. On Wednesdays it's promotional content. And on Fridays it's that interactive content to get people really engaged. This will help you make sure that you're varying up your content types, you're keeping it interesting for your followers, and it makes planning and execution so much simpler for you, which is the whole goal of this YouTube channel, to make social media a positive tool that's easy for you to use. If we didn't cover your industry today, if you weren't one of the 15, I don't want you to feel left out. Please do comment below and let me know your industry. I am happy to give you 5 content pillar ideas with a few examples to go along with it. If you liked this video and you want to see more like it, please throw a like on it so I know to create more content like this. And don't forget to subscribe so my next video is really easy for you to find. Until then, thank you so much for watching and stay social.